Picture this scenario. Someone provokes you, distorts your words, and waits for you to lose your composure. Yet you remain unmoved. You don't argue, justify yourself, or over-explain. You respond with a calm, stoic statement that ends the game and safeguards your tranquility. That's precisely what you'll discover today. 10 expressions to silence those who try to manipulate you, instantly, without drama, without raising your voice, and without sacrificing your self-respect. Handle those who mistreat you this way, and watch how the power returns to your hands. Stay with me, because the final phrase doesn't simply conclude a discussion, it silently interrupts the entire cycle. The ancient Stoics didn't navigate social media, nor deal with overbearing managers, but they understood something timeless. People will attempt to control you through your reactions. They provoke you with guilt, escalation, or confusion. Their success depends on whether you surrender control to them. The heart of Stoicism is simple and radical. Focus on what depends on you, your judgments, your choices, your actions. If you can remain firm there, the storms around you lose their grip. Today's phrases aren't insults or clever retorts, they're boundaries expressed with composure. Use them without agitation and repeat them when pressure returns. Consider each one as a verbal handrail that keeps you stable when someone tries to drag you into their storm. First phrase: I understand what you're saying, and I've already decided. Manipulators feed on open doors. If you leave even a small opening, maybe I'll think about it. We'll see. They'll insist even more tomorrow. This sentence closes the door without slamming it. First you acknowledge, I understand what you're saying. This diffuses the drama because they can't accuse you of being unfair or not listening. Then you anchor your freedom, and I've already decided. No lengthy defense, no explanation. If they sigh, sulk, or accuse you of not caring, you don't enter the emotional labyrinth. You calmly repeat, I do understand, and I've already decided. Like a rock against waves, you don't chase, you don't explain, and slowly the waves break by themselves. Second phrase, you're entitled to your view, and I'm entitled to disagree. One of the oldest tricks is turning opinion into absolute truth. Everyone thinks you're wrong, you're overreacting. That's ridiculous. This phrase cuts through the illusion of absolute truth without starting a war. It grants the other person their freedom, you're entitled to your view, and reclaims your own. And I'm entitled to disagree. You're not trying to win in court, you're stepping out of it. If they push back, so you're saying I'm wrong, you resist the trial, you can think that I still disagree. A Stoic keeps their identity separate from other people's judgments. Their opinions aren't chains unless you clasp them around your wrists. Third phrase, I'm not comfortable with this, so I won't be doing it. Manipulation often asks you to ignore your inner alarm. It's just this once. If you cared, you'd do it. Anyone else would. This line brings the spotlight back to your side. I'm not comfortable with this. You're stating a fact about your internal state, not accusing, not diagnosing. Then you pair feeling with responsibility. So I won't be doing it. No tantrum, just clarity. If they twist it, so I make you uncomfortable, don't take the bait. I hear you. I'm still not comfortable, so I won't be doing it. You're not demanding they agree with your comfort level. You're acting in alignment with it. Fourth phrase, if I have to disrespect myself to please you, my answer is no. Some requests arrive wrapped in love, loyalty, or duty, but the price tag is your dignity. A calm principle dissolves the fog. If pleasing you requires me to violate my limits, betray my values, or ignore my conscience, then the answer is no. Not a dramatic no, a principled no. The Stoics cared about the kind of person you become when no one's watching. If they try to flip the script, so you think I'm disrespecting you, stay with the principle. I'm saying I won't disrespect myself. My answer is no. You don't need them to validate your boundary before you live by it. Fifth phrase, I won't continue this conversation in that tone. When logic stops working, some people reach for volume, sarcasm, or contempt. You don't have to wrestle in the mud to prove you're strong. Describe the condition, not the character. I won't continue this conversation in that tone. You're not calling them toxic or evil. You're stating the boundary of engagement. If they mock you, oh, now you're above me. Don't defend your worth. When the tone improves, I'm here. Otherwise, I'm stepping away. Then follow through. End the call, leave the room, or pause the chat. Not to punish, simply to protect your clarity. You choose the arena before you choose the argument. Sixth phrase. This matters to you, but this decision is mine to make. Control often wears the costume of concern. People advise you so forcefully that refusal feels like betrayal. This sentence honors their care without surrendering your authority. This matters to you. I hear that. But this decision is mine to make. The power play thrives where your choice is up for auction. Take it off the market. If they say, don't blame me later, you can answer, I appreciate your perspective. The decision is still mine. Wisdom grows when you own both your successes and your mistakes. Borrowed judgment produces borrowed lives. Seventh phrase. I'm responsible for what I do, not for how you feel about it. The most town too seductive lever isn't anger, it's guilt. If you don't come, I'll be devastated. You ruined my day. You made me feel this way. Compassion matters, but responsibility has borders. Your actions are yours to own. Other people's emotional weather is theirs to interpret. I'm responsible for what I do. If I crossed a line, I'll repair it. But I'm not responsible for how you feel about my healthy boundary. Say it gently and repeat it when tears, sighs, or accusations arrive. I won't make choices just to manage your mood. I'll act according to my values, and you can choose how to feel. Eighth phrase. I prefer honest silence to a forced agreement. Sometimes the push isn't to understand, it's to extract a yes. When you sense that pressure, trade the counterfeit peace of people-pleasing for the real peace of integrity. I prefer honest silence to a forced agreement. That sentence removes the gray area manipulators love. It offers two roads, a true consensus or a respectful pause. If they press, so you're giving me the silent treatment, stay clear. I'm choosing not to pretend. If we can't find a genuine middle ground, I prefer we pause instead of forcing something I can't support. This saves you from that bitter aftertaste of saying yes while abandoning yourself. Ninth phrase. I know what I lived through. I won't doubt myself because you say otherwise. Skilled manipulators don't always shout. They revise. They shuffle details, invert scenes, and narrate your memory back to you until you mistrust your senses. You don't have to run an evidence presentation to secure your sanity. Calmly anchor your reality. I know what I lived through. I won't doubt myself because you say otherwise. If they scoff, you're being dramatic. Don't litigate. I'm clear about what I experienced. We may remember differently, but I will not outsource my judgment. Your mind is your last line of defense. Guard it, or someone else will write your history for you. 10th phrase. I can forgive you, but you no longer get the same access to my life. Forgiveness and full access aren't twins. Forgiveness releases the weight in your chest. Access decides who sits at your table. You can sincerely let go of resentment and still adjust proximity. I can forgive you, but you no longer get the same access to my life. If they accuse you of being stuck in the past, if you truly forgave me, nothing would change. Remember, repeating the same arrangement and expecting a different outcome isn't forgiveness. It's denial. You don't owe anyone the privilege to reopen the same wound. You owe yourself the duty to protect it while it heals. Let's put these phrases into action, because wisdom lives in practice. Imagine a colleague who keeps dumping urgent tasks on you at 5 in the evening as you're packing up. They start with a guilt hook. If you cared about the team, you'd help. You breathe, remember your footing, and say, "I understand what you're saying, and I've already decided to leave on time today." They pivot to pressure, so you're okay with everyone thinking you're selfish. You stay centered. You're entitled to your view, and I'm entitled to disagree. If they escalate, wow, unbelievable. You finish with tone and exit. I won't continue this conversation in that tone. We can pick it up tomorrow, then you go. A boundary that isn't enacted is a suggestion. A boundary enacted calmly becomes culture. Picture a family scenario. A parent or sibling advises you about your relationship, career, or finances, except it doesn't feel like advice. It feels like a command. You listen, then say, "This matters to you, and I hear your concern. But this decision is mine to make." If they say you'll regret it, you repeat the ownership. "Thank you. I'll own the results." The paradox is beautiful. When you take responsibility for your choices, the people who rely on controlling you lose interest, and the people who genuinely love you respect you more. Or take a tender scene with someone you care about who keeps cracking jokes that sting. You've tried laughing it off, but you feel smaller each time. The next time it happens, you don't diagnose their character, you bring it home. "I'm not comfortable with that joke, so I won't be engaging with it." If it continues, you add, "Tone. I won't continue this conversation in that tone. When the tone improves, I'm here." Calm doesn't mean passive. Calm is active self-respect. There's a different kind of challenge when the manipulator is subtle. They don't order, they insinuate. They don't demand, they mope. They say, "I just thought you were different," and wait for you to scramble. This is where phrase 7 earns its keep. I'm responsible for what I do, not for how you feel about it. Then you make your choice, and let their weather be their weather. Your kindness can be generous. Your boundaries must be firm. A word about repetition. Many manipulative patterns aren't defeated by a single excellent sentence. They dissolve through consistent boundaries, delivered in the same calm tone every time. Think of it like training a muscle. The first repetition feels awkward. The second repetition shakes. By the 10th repetition, your voice is steady, your breathing smooth, your eyes clear. People learn how to treat you from what you consistently allow. If your words are strong, but your follow-through is weak, the lesson falls apart. If your words are steady and your actions match, the lesson holds, even if at first it triggers pushback. And a word about composure. No phrase is a magic spell if your voice drips with contempt. The Stoic edge isn't sharpness, it's steadiness. You can be firm without being cruel, clear without being cold. When you feel the flood rising, heart racing, jaw clenching, come back to your breath. Slow your exhale. As you breathe out, let the excess words drain with the air. Then deliver the line once, maybe twice. If it turns into a spiral, invoke phrase 5 and step away. You're not abandoning the conversation. You're protecting the conditions for a sane one. Notice what these phrases have in common. None of them are about winning an argument. All of them are about winning yourself back. The moment you stop performing for approval or managing other people's feelings like a full-time job, you create space for a different life, one where your choices are guided by your values, not by someone else's volume, guilt, or certainty. In that space, respect starts at home and radiates outward. Some people will meet you there, others will drift away. Let them. The company you keep shapes the person you're becoming, and your future self is counting on you to be selective. Before we close, here's a quick recap you can memorize. When someone tries to bulldoze your decisions, I understand what you're saying, and I've already decided. When opinion masquerades as law, you're entitled to your view, and I'm entitled to disagree. When your body says no, I'm not comfortable with this, so I won't be doing it. When the price is your dignity, if I have to disrespect myself to please you, my answer is no. When tone becomes a weapon, I won't continue this conversation in that tone. When concern turns into control, this matters to you, but this decision is mine to make. When guilt grabs the wheel, I'm responsible for what I do, not for how you feel about it. When pressure seeks a fake yes, I prefer honest silence to a forced agreement. When your reality is rewritten, I know what I lived through. I won't doubt myself because you say otherwise. And when cycles must end, I can forgive you, but you no longer get the same access to my life. If even one of these lines helps you reclaim a piece of your peace this week, the shift has already begun. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates with your hand on the latch. You decide who enters and how. You decide the tone. You decide what your evenings feel like, what your mornings feel like, and how much of your life is spent apologizing for existing. Choose deliberately. If this resonated with you, say it out loud. Today, I choose to let go. Remember it and use it when the old patterns return. Your future self is watching from down the road, grateful that you started today. 10 Stoic phrases to silence manipulators. Vertical bar. Protect your inner peace. Is someone trying to control you through guilt, pressure, or provocations? Learn how to respond with calm and firmness, using these 10 Stoic phrases that will transform the way you handle toxic relationships. In this video, you'll discover how to establish healthy boundaries without raising your voice, the exact phrases to use when someone manipulates your emotions, Stoic techniques to maintain composure in any situation, practical examples to apply at work, with family, and in relationships. This isn't about winning arguments, it's about winning yourself back. When you stop performing for approval and managing other people's feelings like a full-time job, you create space for a life guided by your values. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates with your hand on the latch. Which phrase will you use first? Write it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more content on personal growth and practical Stoicism.